In today's video, I'm going to be rebuilding the New Orleans Pelicans around Zion Williamson after trading away Brandon Ingram to the Toronto Raptors. Ingram was on a expiring contract. He was traded away for Kelly Olynyk and Bruce Brown. And now the goal of this video will be to win the Pelicans and Zion Williamson a championship. So of course we're going to be rebuilding a team around him and see how things go. At this moment, the Pelicans are the worst team in the conference. They're the 15th seed with 14 wins and 43 losses, which is pretty insane. Injuries have took a toll on this team. Clearly, DeJounte Murray's out for the season. CJ McCollum was out for a bunch of games, same as Trey Murphy and Zion, as well as Herb Jones. So what I'm planning on doing this season is tanking. That way we get ourselves a top pick in the coming NBA draft. As you guys can see in the mock drafts, we're projected to go number 2. So as long as we continue playing bad, we can get a top 3 pick. Someone like Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, or possibly even Cooper Flagg. Also, please make sure to drop a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K rebuilds. As I said, we're going to be tanking to get ourselves possibly a top 3 pick since we do have our own first round pick for this coming NBA draft. So what I'm planning on doing is benching all of our good players, that way we don't win too many games. But I will be simulating until the end of this season where hopefully we play horrible and get ourselves a top 3 pick. We completed our goal of losing as many games for the second half of the season. As you guys can see, we're the second worst team in the entire NBA, which is exactly what we wanted. And now we're going to be ending off this season as a 15th seed with chances of a top 3 pick. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins MVP. Misi, our rookie, wins Rookie of the Year. Let's go. I did continue playing Yves Misi, that way he progresses, and clearly that was a good thing since he ended up winning Rookie of the Year. Naz Reid wins 6th Player of the Year, Wemby wins Defensive Player, Thompson wins Most Improved, Jokic Clutch Player, Mark wins Coach of the Year, and they also win Executive of the Year. And we probably won't get anyone here, so let's go ahead and skip through all of this. And of course, we're not going to be in the playoffs, which is a good thing for us. Let's see who goes on to win the NBA championship. And it's a rematch of the 2022 NBA championship. Or was that the 2021? I'm not sure. Celtics versus the Warriors. And the Warriors go on to win in 6. And I believe back in 2022, the Warriors beat the Celtics in 6 as well. So it's a repeat. Curry wins Finals MVP, averaging 42 points per game. That is insane. I'm going to overturn a few of these retirements and then I'll see y'all at the NBA draft. And here we are for the NBA draft lottery. Fingers crossed we get a top 3 pick. Hopefully it does not fall down because that would suck. We're projected to go number 2. We have the second best odds at getting the first overall pick, and let's see where we land. And oh my god, we fall all the way down to number 5. So we're not getting Ace Bailey, Cooper Flagg, or Dylan Harper, which really sucks. But what I think we're going to be doing is possibly trading up. And the reason for that is we have a bunch of our players still on long-term contracts. As you guys can see, the Pelicans have basically all of their good players on long-term contracts. CJ McCollum is someone we're probably going to be trading away this off-season and rebuilding a younger team around Zion Williamson, so we can possibly use CJ McCollum and our own first round pick to try moving up to the first or second overall pick. I'm going to try seeing what we can do, and I'll show you guys what trades we're going to be trying to pull off to move up in the NBA draft. So the Chicago Bulls have the second overall pick, and in order to make this trade happen, we're also going to have to take on one salary in return, and that would be Lonzo Ball. I'm not sure if the Chicago Bulls will be accepting this trade, but let's go ahead and try, where we send them CJ McCollum, the 5th overall pick, for the 2nd overall pick, and Lonzo Ball. If they do decline, we can possibly include Jose Alvarado since we won't be needing him anymore, since we're going to be getting Lonzo Ball possibly. So let's see what they say now, and the trade is done. We got ourselves Lonzo Ball and the 2nd overall pick. So now we got ourselves Lonzo Ball to possibly be our backup point guard for the future, which is really good for us. He's a good defender, good playmaker, and a good three-point shooter. But now let's see who we're going to be getting in the 2025 NBA draft. The pick number 1. Who has pick number 1? It's a Washington Wizards. Let's see who they go ahead and select. And they take Cooper Flag, so we're not going to be getting Cooper Flag. But there's a bunch of trade offers. Let's see what these trade offers are looking like. So we can get Jarrett Allen, Pritchard, LaMelo Ball would be insane to have on our team, but we also have to give up DeJounte Murray, but we do also get pick number 7. This trade would honestly be pretty good for our team. Toppich, Rob Dillingham, Donovan Clingan, these trades are horrible. Why would this team even offer us these horrible trade packages? The only real trade I like here is for LaMelo Ball. What I think we're going to be doing is either selecting Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey. I haven't selected Dylan Harper before. He has a ceiling of Dwayne Wade All-NBA. Ace Bailey has Donovan Mitchell All-Star. I'm going to decide which player we're going to be selecting, and I'll show you guys here in a second who that will be. So I thought long and hard about what we're going to be doing with the 2nd overall pick, and we are going to be trading it away to the Charlotte Hornets for LaMelo Ball and the 7th overall pick. This way we still get ourselves a top 10 pick, the 7th pick to be exact, and we get ourselves a star point guard in LaMelo Ball that could help us win now. He could be paired up with Zion Williamson immediately and help us possibly be championship contenders in the next season or 2. We also have to give up DeJounte Murray, which I'm totally fine with, because LaMelo Ball is obviously the better point guard. He's also only 23 years old. He fits Zion Williamson's timeline perfectly. So we're going to go ahead and pull this trade off, and now we got ourselves LaMelo Ball and the 7th overall pick. And with our 7th overall pick, we can get VJ Edgecombe, Igor Demon, and we do need a new starting shooting guard after we traded away CJ McCollum, and I think VJ Edgecombe would be that perfect player for the future. Let's go ahead and pick VJ Edgecombe with our 7th overall pick. Edgecombe will be the future starting shooting guard beside LaMelo Ball and Zion Williamson. And we're going to be picking up the team option on Jordan Hawkins. In my opinion, this NBA draft was really successful for our team. We got VJ Edgecombe, we got LaMelo Ball. We have both of the Ball brothers teamed up on the Pelicans, which I totally forgot about. We also got ourselves Lonzo Ball, who's now going to be the backup point guard behind his brother, LaMelo Ball. What I think we're going to need now this offseason is a stretch big who can space the floor besides Zion Williamson. Zion is not a good three-point shooter at all, so obviously we're going to need a floor spacing big man. And Yves Missi is not a good three-point shooter at all. I'm not sure if we're going to be keeping Yves Missi for this video or we're going to be using him in this trade for a floor spacing big man, but I guess we'll see. In the NBA, there's only a handful of floor spacing big men. Zach Edey does have a 84 overall three-point shot, so first we're going to go ahead and try trading for him to be our brand new starting center. Let's see what happens. We're going to have to trade away Kelly Olynyk to make the salaries match. I highly doubt they're going to accept this trade, which they do not, but it looks like we're going to have to also include Yves Missi in order for them to accept this trade, which I'm totally fine with because Zach Edey is an amazing center. Let's see what they say to this trade now that we included Olynyk and Missi in this trade, and they still decline. We do have a few first round picks that we can include, which we'll probably be doing. Our 2029 first round pick, let's see what they say, and they still decline. We also have a top 3 protected pick, but honestly I want to keep this for the 2026 draft, but we could possibly use the 2027 swap best with the Bucks. And they accept. Just like that, we got ourselves a floor spacing big man in Zach Edey. I've never traded for Zach Edey before, so I'm excited to see how things play out. He's a good defender, good rebounder, and a pretty good offensive player. So our roster is basically complete this offseason. There is one last signing we're going to be doing, and that's for a backup center that can also space the floor, and that's going to be Thomas Bryant. He has an A- 3-point shot, so he should be able to space the floor besides Zion. We're going to go ahead and give him a 2-year contract worth around $8.5 million. He should accept this trade. Let's see if he does. He does. 2 years, $8.5 million. And now I'll be seeing y'all at the start of season number 2. Here we are at the start of season number 2 with our new rotation. Our starting lineup is going to be LaMelo Ball, VJ Edgecombe, Trey Murphy III, Zion Williamson, and Zach Edey. And then off the bench, we're going to have Herb Jones, Lonzo Ball, Thomas Bryant, and Jordan Hawkins. In my opinion, we're probably championship contenders. If not championship contenders, definitely playoff contenders. And the 2025 NBA draft was a huge success for us. If we went ahead and drafted Dylan Harper or Ace Bailey, we would have been rebuilding for the next few seasons. But since we trade away for LaMelo Ball, we can contend now and possibly even win a championship this season. So I'm excited to see how things go. Obviously, Trey Murphy has also been an amazing player for the Pelicans this season. In real life, he's averaging around 22 points per game, which is really impressive. He's an amazing 3-point shooter, really good offensive player, so I'm excited to see how he plays in this video. This is going to be our 9-man rotation. Let's see how game number 1 goes against the Portland Trail Blazers, and it's a win for us where we score 131 points. Williamson had 41 points. LaMelo had a 22-point double-double. Murphy also had 22 points, 12 from Herb Jones, 11 from VJ Edgecombe in his NBA debut. I'm excited to see how things play out for us. Zach Edey had 8 points, 8 rebounds, didn't make a 3-pointer, but that's alright. Now I'm going to start simulating probably until the end of this season, but if there's trades to be made, of course, I'll stop at the trade deadline to show y'all. At the end of season number 2, Wemby wins MVP, Cooper Flagg wins Rookie of the Year, James Harden wins 6th Player of the Year. He ended up on the Charlotte Hornets playing off their bench. Wemby also wins Defensive Player of the Year, Ryan Dunn wins Most Improved. I'm not really sure how that's most improved. He's averaging 1 more point than the previous season and a few more rebounds. But alright. Devin Booker wins Clutch Player of the Year, Greg Popovich Coach of the Year, and we win Executive of the Year. As you guys can see in the bottom left corner, we won 57 games, losing only 25. Let's see if we get any All-NBA selections, and we do get LaMelo Ball on All-NBA's second team, and we also get Zion Williamson on All-NBA second team. So both of our players are on All-NBA second team. Let's go. And let's see if we get anyone else. We do not, which is totally fine. We do get VJ Edgecombe on all rookie first team, which is also pretty good for us. We ended up as the number 2 seed. And in round number 1, we're going to be taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. Oh god. We're supposed to be versing a easy team since it's going to be a play-in team, but obviously we got Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James. That's pretty insane. Let me show you guys our player stats before we do jump into the playoffs. So our leading scorer was Zion Williamson, averaging 25 points per game, 9 rebounds. I believe this is a career high in rebounds, and it is. As well as 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block on really good efficiency. He was not taking many 3-pointers, so obviously that's why it says 40%. Our second leading scorer was LaMelo Ball, averaging 24 points per game, as well as 9 assists, 1 steal on really great efficiency, shooting 50, 40, 80. 18 points per game from Trey Murphy III. Amazing season from him, shooting 42% from downtown. 11.5 from Zach Edey, amazing get for our team, also shooting 34% from the 3-point line. It's an amazing offensive rebound, as you guys can see, per 36 minutes, 4 offensive rebounds per game. Edgecombe in his rookie season was really good for our team, so I'm excited to see how he continues playing here in the future. He averaged 11 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.5 steal, almost a block on really good efficiency. So I'm excited to see how he continues to progress in the next few off seasons. Herb Jones, 10.5 points, 7 8.5 from Lonzo Ball, who was pretty good off the bench. His efficiency wasn't the best, but hopefully he can pick that up here in the playoffs. Now let me fix up our player minutes and then we'll be getting right into the first round. Player minutes have been fixed. Let's see how things go here in round number 1. And honestly, I'm not so confident that we'll be able to beat the the Lakers. Obviously, they have Luka, Austin Reeves, Finney Smith, LeBron. They also got themselves Mason Plumlee. But the big three of this team is pretty insane. So I'm surprised how they ended up as a play-in team to be versing us in round number 1. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 is a win for us. Trey Murphy with 41 points and 9 made 3-pointers. LaMelo had a 21-point double-double, 15 from Zion, who kind of he didn't struggle, he just didn't take as many shots. Herb Jones had 15, 14 from Edey. Game number 2 is a loss for us. Murphy had 23 points. The Ball brothers had 17 apiece, but we still fell short. And oh my god, Dalton Knecht is averaging 30 points per game throughout the first 2 games of the playoffs. Holy cow. That's insane. Hopefully he doesn't continue playing this good, otherwise we're going to be having a problem. Game number 3 is also a loss for us, of course. Now I'm going to come up with a defensive coach game plan because Dalton Knecht is shooting the lights out, shooting 60, 60, 80. He's most definitely the biggest problem at this moment. I came up with a defensive coach game plan and I also ended up putting Herb Jones into our starting lineup for defensive reasons. VJ Edgecombe will be coming off the bench and Herb Jones will be guarding Luka Doncic for the next few games. Let's see how things go here. Game number 4 is a win for us. Let's go. Luka had 30 points. Zion had 33, 13, and 9. Nearly a triple-double. Trey Murphy had 27, and LaMelo Ball with a 24-point double-double. VJ Edgecombe, Zach Edey, Herb Jones, 2 steals. Let's go. Let's see how things go here in game number 5, and it's a win for us, putting us up 3-2. LaMelo had 27 points, 10 assists. Zion had almost another triple-double. Trey Murphy with 18 struggled offensively, shooting 6 of 25. Herb Jones had 4 steals and 1 block on Luka Doncic. That's what I'm talking about. Hopefully we can beat the Lakers here in game number 6, which we do. Let's go. Luka had a 50-point triple-double, but they still fell short. And Dalton Knecht was averaging 25 points per game off the bench. Zion had a 37-point double-double, playing amazing these last few games. LaMelo had a 26-point double-double, 1 rebound shy of a triple-double, as well as 5 steals, which I didn't realize. Murphy had 26, 18 from Herb. And now we're in the next round. We're probably going to be taking on one of the hardest teams, the OKC Thunder or the Dallas Mavericks, and that sucks. We do get the Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving, Max Christie, Najee Marshall, Anthony Davis, and Derek Lively II. They no longer have Klay Thompson, but this is still a pretty deadly team. Max Christie has been playing amazing in real life. So let's see how things go here in round number 2. Game number 1 is a win for us. Zion had 25, 10, and 3, 16 from LaMelo, 16 from Trey Murphy III. And as of right now, we are going to continue keeping Herb Jones in our starting lineup since things worked out perfectly in round number 1 ever since we had him in the starting lineup, so we'll keep him for now. And we also win game number 2, sorry. Murphy had 24, LaMelo with 22, 22 from Zion. Game number 3 puts us up 3-0, so this series has been a lot easier than I expected. LaMelo had 28 points in that game. Zion had 26, Murphy with 19. Herb Jones 14. Let's go. And are we going to be sweeping the Dallas Mavericks? It's not a sweep, but it is a gentleman's sweep. Trey Murphy III had 32 points in that game. He's averaging 23 points per game. LaMelo had 24, 23 from Zion. Zach Edey had 11 and 14 rebounds. And just like that, we're in the conference finals where we're going to be taking on the number 1 seed, the San Antonio Spurs. Of course, they have Wemby. They also have Jeremy Sohan, Devin Vassell, De'Aaron Fox, and Stephon Castle. On their bench, they got Allen, Keldon, Malchi, and Clint Capella. Let's see how things go here in the conference finals. Game number 1 is a loss for us. De'Aaron Fox puts up 27 points, 22 from Keldon Johnson in 17 minutes. Game number 2 is a win, let's go. Zion had 35, 11, and 4. Double-double from LaMelo, 19 from Trey Murphy. Game 3 is also a win for us. Zion with 29, 24 from LaMelo. Can we go up 3-1? And we do just that. Zion with 34 points, another double-double from LaMelo. Trey Murphy has been going off, and that's what I like to see. Are we going to be gentlemen sweeping them? Not a gentleman sweep, but hopefully we can beat them here in 6. And we do, and just like that, we're in the NBA Finals. LaMelo Ball wins Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging a 21-point double-double. Tyrese Haliburton, 28-point double-double. So it's the matchup of the double-double kings. Well, LaMelo Ball isn't really averaging a double-double. It basically is, but not exactly. Tyrese Haliburton is. I think we should be able to beat this team. They were the number 1 seed, so that's pretty concerning. They were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They beat the Boston Celtics, the Detroit Pistons, and the Orlando Magic. But hopefully we can stop them here in the NBA Finals. Game number 1 is a loss for us. Ali had 45 points, 16 free throws, so clearly the referees are on their side. Well, never mind, we had more free throws than they did. Game number 2 is also a loss. Oh god, don't tell me we came all the way to the NBA Finals to lose. Let me come up with a defensive coach game plan. Alright, I went ahead and came up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's see if that's going to help us here win game number 3, which hopefully it does. We'll jump into Simcast. So that means we lost both games at home, since they have the next 2 games at their home court advantage, which sucks. Hopefully we can win these next 2 games, and we are going to be winning this game by 20 points. Zion had 27, 24 from LaMelo, 18 from Murphy, 15, and 10 from Zach Edey. I also switched up some of the shot tendencies. I did higher Zach Edey's and Herb Jones' shot tendency, as well as LaMelo and Zion's. Let's see if that's going to help us here get these wins. Game number 4, hopefully we can tie up the series, and so far they are winning this game by a lot. We go down 3-1. Haliburton has been a problem, and he's continuing to be a problem. Clearly, even Herb Jones can't slow him down, which sucks. So we are down 3-1. I highly doubt we're going to be able to come back, but it's worth a try. We do have home court advantage in this game. Let's see what happens. And so far we have the lead, and we are going to be winning by 31 points. Why can't we do this every single game? Our defense was amazing, and our offense was even better. Zion had 35 and 17 rebounds, as well as 7 assists. 28 from LaMelo, 16 from Trey Murphy. He's been struggling offensively, to be honest, in the finals. Shooting 41% from the field. He is shooting really good from the 3-point line, but from the field, he's struggling a ton. Even though a lot of his shots are 3-pointers compared to the regular season, he's struggling. And yeah, how was Herb Jones? He struggled offensively as well, so I'm not sure if we're going to be able to come back if they continue playing the way they've been playing. Game number 6, if we're able to win this game, we're going to be pushing it to a game number 7, and we could possibly win game 7 with all that momentum. So let's see what happens here. The Pacers do have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead, and it looks like we're going to be winning this game by 31 points once again. That's pretty insane. LaMelo had 29 points. Trey Murphy, there we go, had 25 points, 18, 14, and 8 from Zion Williamson. How was our defense? Our defense was amazing on Tyrese Haliburton, holding him to 3 of 17 shooting. That's what I'm talking about. So Herb Jones played amazing defense on Tyrese Haliburton. And hopefully we can continue this for game 7. And we will be having home court advantage for this game, so clearly the momentum is on our side. We won the past 3 games, we were down 3-1, and now the series is tied going to a game 7 at our home court. Let's see what happens, and so far we start off the first half amazing, and just like that, we came back from a 3-1 deficit and end up winning and blowing them out by around 40 points. Almost 50 points, which is crazy. Let's see how our team played. So LaMelo had a 31-point double-double. Zion had 30, 12, and 5. Trey Murphy had 25, 13 from Hawkins, 11 from Edie. And our defense on Halliburton, let's go, was amazing once again, holding him to 7 of 24 shooting. Just like that, the New Orleans Pelicans are your NBA champions, the 2026 NBA champions, and Zion Williamson goes on to win Finals MVP, averaging 27, 12, 6, as well as 2 steals and 2 blocks on 64% from the field. I was not expecting us to come back from that 3-1 deficit and end up winning ourselves a championship, but clearly we did. Here is the playoff stats. So we had 3 players that were averaging 20 points or more. Zion 25.5, 23 from LaMelo, as well as 10 assists, 20 points per game from Trey Murphy III. 10 points from Herb Jones, who ended up becoming a phenomenal starting shooting guard for our team defensively. He was basically locking up all the good point guards on every other team. VJ Edgecombe had 10 points per game, 9 from Lonzo, 9 from Zach Edey, 6.5 from Jordan Hawkins. The NBA final stats, LaMelo 25, 27 from Zion, 18 from Trey Murphy. We only had 3 players in double digit scoring, yet we ended up winning a championship, which is pretty insane. We're going to try running it back one more season and see if we can win back-to-back championships. Now I'll be seeing you guys either at the draft lottery or at free agency. We're here at the NBA draft lottery, and somehow we have the #1 lottery odds of ending up with the #1 overall pick via Milwaukee. I'm not sure how we ended up with that pick. Hopefully it's not lottery protected, because that would suck. Let's see if it's lottery protected or not. And we end up with a 5th overall pick, so clearly it was not lottery protected. I believe that pick was actually top 3 protected, so we got really lucky that it didn't end up in the top 3, but we did end up with a 5th overall pick, which is pretty insane. I did not know we were going to have a lottery pick this season, but clearly we ended up with the 5th overall pick, and we also have the 27th pick in the first round. So once again, we're going to try trading away our 5th overall pick to acquire Cason Wallace, who could possibly be our brand new starting shooting guard. He had an amazing season, shooting 40% from the 3-point line. He's also an amazing defender, so he could be our starting shooting guard for the future. And that way VJ Edgecombe could be our 6th man. The reason we're not using our 5th overall pick is we're not a team that's starting from scratch, rebuilding from scratch. We're a contending team. We're contending with Zion Williamson and LaMelo Ball, so obviously we don't have time to be developing young talent on our team. So let's go ahead and try pulling this trade off here with the OKC Thunder, where we send them the 5th overall pick, Jordan Hawkins, for Cason Wallace, and they accept. Now we got ourselves a new starting shooting guard. I don't think we're going to be making any more moves to our roster, but if there is moves, of course I'll be showing you guys. Otherwise, I'll see y'all at the start of this coming season with our 9-man rotation. So at free agency, we have around $10 to $12 million we can spend. Actually, around $15 million we can spend, $14 million to be exact. So what we're going to be doing is signing a pretty decent name in free agency, and that's going to be Precious Achiuwa. Somehow he has an A- 3-point shot. He can possibly be our backup power forward / backup center. So we're going to go ahead and sign him on a 2-year contract, which he should accept, and he does. And now we got ourselves Precious Achiuwa coming off of our bench. I'm here at player progression, and as you guys can see, basically every single player on our team has progressed a ton. Zion is up to a 93, LaMelo's a 93, Trey Murphy is a 88, 87 from Zach Edey, 85 from Herb. Our whole team progressed a bunch, and VJ Edgecombe progressed the most, going up to a 84 overall. I'm excited to see how this season goes, but with this team, we most definitely should possibly be winning ourselves another championship. And here we are at the start of this final season with our new 9-man rotation. Our starting 5 is going to include LaMelo Ball, Cason Wallace, Trey Murphy III, Zion Williamson, and Zach Edey. Off the bench, we're going to have Herb Jones, Lonzo Ball, VJ Edgecombe, and Precious Achiuwa. In my opinion, we're most definitely a championship team. Hopefully we're able to win another championship. A back-to-back championship would be insane for this video. Let's see how game number 1 of this season goes against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and it's a win. We end up winning by more than 20 points, which hopefully is a good sign for the rest of this season. Now I'm going to be simulating until the end of this season, but of course if there's trades to be made, I'll be stopping at the trade deadline. I'm stopped here at the trade deadline, and we're going to be trading away Cason Wallace. The reason for that is he's shooting pretty bad from the 3-point line, as you guys can see, 33% from the 3-point line and 42% from the field. Compared to last season, he's playing pretty bad. So we're going to end up trading away Cason Wallace. We're going to be trading him to the Utah Jazz for Luke Dort, who's shooting 42% from the 3-point line. He's been playing amazing. He's one of the best defensive guards in the league. So we're going to be trading for Luke Dort. We don't need Isaiah Joe on our team, even though he's a good 3-point shooter. We just don't need him. So let's try taking him out of this trade, and I'm not sure what else we could get back in return. We don't really need any picks since this is the last season of this rebuild, but might as well throw in a first rounder and see if they accept, and they don't. So we may just be trading Cason Wallace for Luke Dort from the looks of things. Even though I know we're not going to be using this pick. Okay, there we go. We got a 2031 first round pick for Luke Dort. And now this is going to be our new rotation. We're going to have Luke Dort at the starting shooting guard position right there. This is going to be, wait a second, what did I just do? So 1 second, let me fix up our rotation and I'll show you guys what it's looking like. Alright, so this is what our rotation will be looking like as of right now. We're going to have LaMelo Ball, Luke Dort at the shooting guard position. Again, amazing defender, amazing 3-point shooter. So I'm pretty sure he's going to help out our team a ton. Trey Murphy, Zion, Zach Edey, Herb Jones, VJ, Lonzo, and Precious. And now I'm going to be simulating until the end of this season. I'll be seeing you guys in the playoffs, where hopefully we can go on to win another championship. And at the end of this last season, our boy LaMelo Ball wins MVP, averaging 25.5 points per game, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, 1.5 steal, half a block, shooting 50, 40, 80. Amazing season from LaMelo. That's an amazing way to end off this last season by winning a MVP. Rookie of the Year goes to AJ Debonsa with the Charlotte Hornets. Dylan Harper also gets 6th player with the Hornets. Wemby wins Defensive Player. Caspers wins Most Improved. Devin Booker Clutch Player of the Year. And our coach, Michael Stoffer, wins Coach of the Year. And we also win Executive of the Year. As you guys can see in the bottom left corner, we won 67 games, losing only 15. Amazing season from our team, and of course the MVP is on All NBA first team. Let's see if we get anyone else, which we do. We get Zion Williamson on All NBA second team. Amazing to see. And that's it for the All NBA awards. Do we get anyone here? We should get Zach Edey, but we do not get Zach Edey on All Defensive, which is totally fine. And of course, we were the number 1 seed. In round number 1, we're going to be taking on the Dallas Mavericks. And so far, this team looks pretty good. I'm surprised that they were a play-in team. They have Kyrie, Max Christie, Chris Middleton at AD, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, Jaden Hardy, who's up to 84 overall, Wiseman, who's up to 81, Najee Marshall, Max Prosper. So this team is honestly pretty stacked. All of their players are at 80 overall or higher. I'm not sure how they ended up as a play-in team. So that's going to be a pretty tough challenge. But let me show you guys our player stats before we get into the playoffs. So our leading scorer was LaMelo Ball, 25.5 points, 24 points per game from Zion Williamson, amazing efficiency, 62%, 1 block, 1 steal, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. He almost averaged a double-double. Trey Murphy was amazing, shooting basically 44% from the three-point line. That is insane. And let's see how many three-pointers he made. He made 263 three-pointers. Zach Edey, 12.5 points per game. Amazing season from him, shooting 50, 40, 60. He shot 42% from the three-point line, and I'm pretty sure he hit a lot of them. Yes, he did. 116 three-pointers. 11.5 points per game from Herb Jones, 10 from BJ Edgecombe, 9 from Luke Dort, who's an amazing get for our team, 7 from Precious, 6.5 from Lonzo, as well as 5 assists. So now I'm going to fix up our player minutes, and then let's see if we can defeat the Dallas Mavericks. Alright, I fixed up our player minutes. Let's see if we can defeat the Dallas Mavericks. They were the 10th seed, so I'm pretty sure we should be able to beat them, but they still have a pretty stacked team. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1 is a loss for us. Zion had 30, but we still fell short. Game number 2 is a win for us. Let's go. LaMelo had 34, 29 from Zion. Game number 3 is also a win. We're up 2-1. Zion had 33, 29 from LaMelo, and 14 from Luke Dort. Game 4, we're up 3-1. That's a really good sign. LaMelo had 29, 23 from Zion, 14 from Herb Jones, who's shooting 50% from the bench. Trey Murphy is struggling big time so far, but hopefully he can pick it up here going forward. And Zach Edey had 19 rebounds. And as I said, I thought Zach Edey was going to be on all defensive team. He was averaging 2 blocks per game, so I'm surprised that he wasn't. But it is what it is. And are we going to be gentlemen sweeping them? And we do. LaMelo with 26, Trey Murphy with 20, 19, 6, and 11 from Zion. Now we're in the second round where we take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. They beat the Phoenix Suns, who no longer have Kevin Durant. Yeah, the Minnesota Timberwolves have Rob Dillingham, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Julius Randle, the same exact team basically. Nolan Traore, AJ Mitchell, Johnny Davis, and Dante. I think we should be able to beat them. They were the number 5 seed, but they're still not a bad team at all. Their starting 5 is pretty stacked. And Jaden McDaniels is up to 88 overall. He progresses really nicely in 2K now. Before, I remember he would stop at like an 84 overall, but clearly now he goes a lot higher. Game number 1 is a loss for us. Anthony Edwards with 34 points. Game number 2 is also a loss. So we most definitely have to come up with a defensive coach game plan. We're going to be putting Luke Dort on Anthony Edwards, and hopefully that slows him down a lot. I did come up with a defensive coach game plan for Anthony Edwards and the rest of their starting 5. Let's see how things go. We'll jump into Simcast for game number 3. And we lost both games at home, which kind of sucks because now the momentum is on the Timberwolves side. If we're able to win the next 2 games at their home court, the momentum should shift back into our favor. So let's see what happens. And yeah, hell yeah, this game we end up winning by a lot. So clearly our coach game plan did work. Zion had a 31-point triple-double. LaMelo had a 30-point double-double. I did hire Zion and LaMelo's shot tendency. That way they're shooting the most amount of shots on our team. Let's see how our defense was. So Anthony Edwards still played really good, except from the 3-point line. He kind of struggled, but he still played really good for this team. Julius Randle 5 of 14, so Zion locked him up pretty nicely. Hopefully we can win this next game and tie up the series at 2-2 apiece. They do have one home court advantage, and we do end up winning by 5 points. So that was a really close game there towards the end. Trey Murphy with 31 points. Let's go. And then Zion had 28. Zach Edey had 17 points. Where's LaMelo? LaMelo struggled big time, but we still ended up winning the game luckily. And the other team was really good as well. So Anthony Edwards is not slowing down, but we are making him struggle from the 3-point line, which is really good. Now game number 5, let's see how this goes. We do have home court advantage for this game, and if we win this game, hopefully we should be able to win this series, and we do win by 5 points once again. That was a really close game. They almost came back there in the fourth quarter, but luckily we were able to keep that lead and win by 5 points. LaMelo had 34, 25 from Zion, and 11 from Trey Murphy, and our defense once again on Anthony Edwards' three-point shot was amazing. We're holding him, we're making him struggle from the three-point line these last 3 games ever since we came up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's see what happens here in game number 6. Hopefully we can beat them here and win 4 games in a row, and so far we do have the lead and we end up winning by 10 points. Trey Murphy had 29, 24 from LaMelo, and 21 from Zion. Amazing game from our players. Zion's rebounding the ball really well. And our defense was not the best, to be honest, on Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, but we still ended up winning. And just like that, we're back in the conference finals taking on the Wemby and the San Antonio Spurs. They obviously no longer have Chris Paul, but they do have Fred VanVleet, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, JJJ, Wemby. How did they acquire Jaren Jackson Jr.? Probably, okay, looks like they signed him in free agency. I'm not sure how they had the cap space to sign him, but they did. Unless they pulled off a trade sending away Keldon Johnson and a bunch of salaries. But yeah, this team is looking really good. Their bench is stacked as well. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1 is a win for us. LaMelo with 45 points, Zion with 28, 11, and 8, 23 from Trey Murphy. That's what I'm talking about. Zach Edey has been struggling big time so far offensively, but he is rebounding and rim protecting amazing. Herb Jones, oh god, Herb Jones is playing awful. 30% from the 3-point line. That's insane. Game number 2 is also a win for us. Zion with 26, Murphy with 19, Luke Dort with 18, LaMelo with a double-double, Zach Edey with a double-double. He may be taking too many 3-pointers. I may have to lower his 3-point shot tendency. Game number 3, it's a loss for us. Williamson had 40, 23 from LaMelo, 11 from Herb. And yeah, I'm gonna go lower Zach Edey's 3-point shot tendency because right now offensively he's playing horrible. Alright, let's see how things go here in game number 4. Hopefully we can go out there and get this win, and we do. Let's go. LaMelo had 46 points, Zion with 21 points, and VJ Edgecombe had 21 points as well off of our bench. Murphy with 12, Zach Edey with 11. There we go. This game he played a lot better with his 3-point shot tendency lowered. Double-double. Hopefully we can gentlemen sweep the Spurs, and we do just that. LaMelo had a 26-point double-double, Murphy with 26, Williamson with 25, VJ with 20 points in 22 minutes. He's playing amazing these last 2 games. Luke Dort has been playing really well for us as well. Zach Edey, oh my god, he still took 6 3-pointers. That's pretty insane. Most of his misses here were 3-point shots, and sorry about that, my phone was vibrating. I'm gonna put it to the side, but yeah, most of his misses were 3-point shots, as you guys can see. But luckily, we're in the NBA Finals once again, and LaMelo Ball wins Western Conference Finals MVP, Tyrese Halliburton winning Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and reversing the Indiana Pacers once again. And it looks like they have basically the same exact starting lineup. They did add Jarris Walker in the starting lineup, but other than that, it's the same. Off their bench, they have Charles Bassey, Wendell, Aaron Nesmith, Brendan Clark. But yeah, Tyrese Halliburton is going to be the main problem that we need to deal with on this team, as well as Pascal Siakam, obviously. How is Jarris Walker playing? He's playing good. Nemhart's playing good. This whole team starting 5 is pretty good. A lot of defense and a lot of offense as well. It's a perfect mixture of both offense and defense. Let's see how things go here in game number 1, and it's a win for us. LaMelo with 29, Trey Murphy with 23, Zion with 20. Luke Dort only shot 2 field goal attempts, but he still had 11 points because of the free throws. Let's go. Game number 2 is also a win for us. LaMelo with a 37-point double-double, Zion with a 21-point double-double. Zach Edey had 17 points in that game. Starting to play a lot better now, luckily. Trey Murphy with 15. He's also playing better than this first round of the playoffs. Let's see what happens here in game number 3. We're up 3-0 just like that. Zion had 39 points, 22 from Murphy, 19 from Luke Dort, a double-double from LaMelo. Lonzo also had 11 points, 13 from Herb Jones. Zach Edey with 16 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds. Let's go. And are we going to be sweeping the Indiana Pacers to win ourselves, what year is this, a 2027 NBA championship? And we're not sweeping them, but hopefully we're able to gentlemen sweep them. And we do just that. Just like that, the New Orleans Pelicans win a back-to-back championship. Zion Williamson winning finals MVP, averaging 22, 7.5, 6, 1 steal, and 1 block on amazing efficiency. We won 2 championships back to back, and if we ended up using our 5th overall picks instead of trading them away for LaMelo Ball, we most definitely wouldn't have been winning 2 championships back to back. We would have had to wait for the player we drafted to progress up in overall, which would have taken a few seasons, and then we would have been winning. But since we traded for LaMelo, we were able to win now, and that's exactly what we did. Here's the playoff stats for our team. So LaMelo was leading the way in the playoffs with 27 points per game, amazing efficiency, nearly 40% from the 3-point line. Zion had 26, 9, and 5, 19 from Trey Murphy, 10 from Zach Edey, as well as 10 rebounds, 10 from Luke Dort, 9 from VJ Edgecombe, 8 from Herb Jones, and then the rest of the guys. Now let me show you guys the NBA Finals player stats. So LaMelo Ball was leading the way offensively, and I'm surprised he did not win Finals MVP. Did he win Finals MVP the previous season? No, he didn't. So Zion stole the Finals MVP in both seasons, even though it should have gone to LaMelo Ball in my opinion, but it is what it is. 24 points per game from LaMelo, 22 and 8 from Zion, 19 from Trey Murphy, 12 from Zach Edey, 11 from Luke Dort, 10 from Herb Jones, 10 from VJ Edgecombe, and then the rest of the team. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to drop a thumbs up and subscribe. That helps out my channel a ton, so please make sure to subscribe and also hit that thumbs up button on this video. And comment down below what video you guys would like for me to do next. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.